don't really know what her name, but she must have been owned. I don't understand how animals can be treated cruelly, because they're innocent. You know, they give you unconditional love. And I think anybody that doesn't like an animal or can be cruel to an animal is not a good person. I mean, obviously there are people that are cruel to children. There's going to be people that are cruel to animals. There are people that are just, I guess, demons in human form. That's what I actually call them. But we do get abused animals that are being brought in here as well. I mean, people come in and they say, "Oh, my dog's leg is broken. I don't know what happened," and eventually we find out that actually the owner has broken the leg, or the cat has jumped out or has been thrown out a window. We've gotten those as well. But the people, there are whole different peoples in the world. That's why I'm here, and I'm here because I love animals, and that's what I do. I love to treat animals. I love to be near animals. I communicate with animals much better than I do with people. So.
Animals are very similar to children. They are super innocent and don't really have much of a choice in their life circumstances. So this is something that we never want to see, because it's something that can be very hard for them to escape. But if it does happen to happen to an animal, we are very grateful that we can be part of their recovery and hopefully get them into a better home. Now in the ICU, we have one cruelty case. And that's pretty standard for us. Fortunately, we never have multiple at once for the most part, which is great, because obviously, even though we want to help these animals, we don't want animals to have to experience this in the first place. But it's a pretty steady number in terms of how many we see at any given time.
As we know, animal cruelty is an indicator of a person's likelihood of perpetrating other violent acts. And so we've learned from studies, let's say the Massachusetts Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals and Northeastern University found that animal abusers are 5 times as likely to also harm humans. In 2013, another study found that nearly half of people who commit mass school shootings have a history of harming animals. And in 2021, the FBI's Law Enforcement Bulletin published an article describing the link between animal cruelty and human violence, stating that animal cruelty is often predictive of co-occurring crime with violence against humans. And so in my career in the New York State Assembly, I have used that knowledge to educate and pass laws that connect violence against animals with future violence against people. All of the animal cruelty laws in New York State are in the agriculture and markets law, because many years ago, that's where animal law resided. Now we need to update our law to put the animal laws in the penal code, because we're talking about crimes. And unfortunately, sometimes crimes against animals are not considered serious, because animals in the law are considered property. An animal obviously is a member of the family, not comparable to a table or a chair, but the law is behind. So this is a good step in conveying that animals are sentient beings and that their suffering is something that we have to mitigate. And by advancing the law and allowing more cases of aggravated felony cruelty to be brought against people who are depraved and like torturing animals, we will send the message out that New York State is serious about combating abuse against animals in all cases.
Ready? Go.
If you suspect animal cruelty, you can actually call the police, and they will investigate. They can file a report, and then if necessary, animals can be brought here or to the ASPCA or any of their partner locations. In terms of our role in preventing and treating animals with cruelty, it's kind of twofold. So animals will present to the emergency room and sometimes you might have suspicion of some sort of animal cruelty. And it's our job to report that to the police, not necessarily to investigate, but if we have a suspicion, we will call the police so that they can take it from there and do their job to be able to investigate whether or not it is in fact a cruelty case. And then we're also very lucky in that we get to partner with the ASPCA in caring for animals who have experienced different types of cruelty. And it's very similar to people. Cruelty injuries can include lung injuries, traumatic brain injury, broken bones, internal bleeding, and things like that. And it can really run a full range. But we're very fortunate that when we treat them here, we have many different services and everyone in one building, who can treat them. And what we usually do is take care of them when they're more critically ill, and then once we get them to a more stable place, then we usually transfer them to the ASPCA for continued care and hopefully, either rehoming or reuniting with their family.
I'm really excited to showcase today what is phase 2 of an extensive renovation that's been ongoing for a number of years now.
Everybody smile.